What's up everyone, Thralls here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick and I have an album review for you. So this is one that I had on my personal radar just because I'm a giant fan of this band and how strange and fun they are. I'm talking about the newest offering from Bonehunter, Dark Blood Reincarnation System. This comes out on the 20th on Hell's Headbangers. This is the band's fourth album. They formed in 2002 in Finland. And this is a fun mix of black metal, thrash metal, speed metal, heavy metal, and punk. And it's about as fun and crazy as the album cover you are currently looking at. And yes, that is a cyborg werewolf with a scythe and his dick hanging out. And I have so many questions. But I kind of get that that is their mascot. He's popped up in a couple. In fact, I got into these guys around Sexual Panic Machine, which, if you're looking at that cover, he's pretty excited about being on that cover. But honestly, the music was what really sold me. Well, the album covers are pretty hilarious, and the song titles are pretty hilarious, but the music is what definitely got me. These guys pretty much lurk in that same vein as bands like Midnight, Hell Ripper, Toxic Holocaust, but in terms of like the balance they have, I think they're thrashier than Midnight, but they aren't as thrashy as Hell Ripper. After you get past the intro World of Darkness, you are greeted to Black Magic M16, which when I looked at that, is like, well, that's a Slayer song and a Sodom album combined, so let's get thrashing. And that is exactly what this song does. This is a hell of a pace setter. Great opening riff, great melodies throughout. There's a nice high energy beat to it. And these blackened vocals are pure fun. I really love his delivery. It just has this punk snarl to it, but they're definitely more in that black metal realm. And honestly, the vocals are probably the most blackened aspect of this outside of a few moments on Virgin Devil Princess and the title track, which, yeah, these song titles are pretty wild. I mean, hell, the album title is at least half of a Rob Zombie title, because most of his album titles here lately have been long sentences of pure nonsense. I'm pretty sure this is still nonsensical, but it's a lot of fun, and that's really what matters on here. I love the thrashy aspects on here, which are pretty much all over the place, but kind of pockmarked in different areas. This album is paced really well in terms of how they sort of deliver different aspects of their sound. Sometimes you get more punky tracks, sometimes you get flat out heavy metal tracks, and sometimes you get flat out thrashy barn burners like Chromium, Death Mechanoid, and Nightmare Angel 2099. I feel like I rented those movies back in the 90s when I was a kid and watched them. They were probably on Full Moon Entertainment. Yet another aspect I love is these goofy, over-the-top song titles, but both of those songs are thrashy, aggressive as hell, but the thing that is never missing on this album at any point, regardless of what style they're doing, is melody. The lead melodies on here are excellent. They're not technical, they're not shreddy. Most of the time they're just tasteful, they complement the song well, and they drive home a big melodic hook, which, surprisingly, this is a very melodic offering. The song Parasite Eve reeks of Iron Maiden. It has that flat-out Iron Maiden gallop. You've heard it a dozen times before on Iron Maiden albums and a lot of other albums, but it kind of drives that home, and it has these great lead melodies on top that just perfectly accentuate how retro the song is, which retro is definitely the feel on here. The production is very analog sounding. It has just sort of a rich, full sound. Very little extra on here. I think maybe there's some synths in there, but that could just be a guitar effect. The guitar tone has this rich, like 80s thrash tone that I really like, and everything is mixed really well. I like pretty much the levels on everything. Nothing gets overrun by another thing. It's separated, and you're able to hear every cool melody that's on here, which is pretty much every track. Every track seems to have a really good melodic hook. Even the flat-out raw punk aspects of songs like Virgin Devil Princess and Altered Beast, and yeah, I said Parasite Eve and Altered Beast, those are two video game references. They have to be. I can't imagine they're anything else. They still have really catchy melodies amongst all that like Motorhead and Venom worship, and you know, even further back to just like straight out punk. At no point on here was there really like a lull in energy at all. This pretty much kind of keeps this really fast pace, but it's varied up. Like, you get some songs that slow it down, but it's still very energetic. The song Gasha Doctura, which I have no idea what that means, pretty much sounds like Celtic Frost covering Dio era Black Sabbath. The main riff screams Tony Iommi. It has a good doomy feel to it, but when it gets down to the chuggy parts, it really kind of has a big Celtic Frost sound to it. It's only missing a couple of uhs, and, you know, it's a Celtic Frost song at that point. That is probably the most different song on here, though, because it doesn't really break into, like, a lot of faster stuff. It kind of stays in this mid-tempo stomp, and it has this epically doomy end that is just loaded, again, with killer melodies. That is something that is all over here. The guitar work on here labors hooks. It's right out in front of your face as much as that werewolf's penis is right out in front of everyone in this album cover. Don't stare, it's rude. The only complaints I can make about this album are maybe there should be a little bit more black metal to it. I liked the black metal moments they peppered in, a few blast beats here and there, and some like distinctly blackened tremolo riffs, but I think there was a way to probably throw in more, but I love the retro feel of this. So that's really not a huge complaint, but towards the end of the album, it kind of just goes into a little bit of cruise control for a while. It kind of just labors the thrashier side and, you know, like D beats and just fast thrashy gallops. It's fun, it's energetic, and I didn't hate any of it, but it kind of stayed in this one gear for a little too long. But the last track, the title track, really opens up at the end of the song. It has, again, some killer fucking melodies that I will probably have stuck in my brain. Much like that werewolf's penis is probably still stuck in yours because you're still looking at it. But seriously, enough about cyborg, devil, werewolf, penis, whatever the hell it is. This album is flat out fun to listen to. Overall, this was just riff after riff, hook after hook. The energy seldom wanes on here. It feels like it should have been on the soundtrack to, like, Night of the Demons, and they just, like, destroyed the house or something like that. It has that sort of retro feel, and I love the whole retro horror thing, too, and it does give me that vibe. I was banging my head throughout this, and overall, I gotta give it 4 stars. This album is a ridiculously fun banger of an album. Definitely labors like old school Slayer and Venom and Motorhead and all stuff that I grew up with, all stuff that I still love, and this is played with maximum intensity and, again, this fun, campy, over-the-top attitude, which is so damn appropriate when you have, you know, all these elements working together. You have to have fun with it, and that is exactly what Bonehunter does, because their name's Bonehunter. I mean, it's already campy, it's already ridiculous. If you're gonna name your band Bonehunter, you better be fucking fun. And they are. This is a flat-out must-own, in my opinion. I'm gonna probably order it not too long after I shoot this video because that's how good it was. But I own a couple of their other albums. I've had fun listening to all of them. So yeah, I strongly recommend this release if you're looking for something fun, campy, and ridiculous and thrashy at the same time. So if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We're also on Patreon, so if you'd like to help us out there will be a link below for that. We are working on putting more material up there. We're just kind of figuring out what all we want to put on there. We also have shirts for sale. We're pretty much down to extra large as 2X's and smalls. That might not be a plural smalls, that might just be one small, but we still have them, and we are eventually going to restock on that and probably getting some more stuff with our name on it. But either way, if you would like one, hit us up on thrallsofmetal@gmail.com. Send us a message, put shirts in the title, and we will get back to you and get your size, get your information, and hopefully sell you a shirt. We also have a giveaway going on. Once we hit 7,500 subs, we are going to give away a stack of 8 CDs that will include the new Cannibal Corpse album with that lovely uncensored artwork. All you have to do is comment on the video for the giveaway. That will be linked below, and it's also playing automatically on our channel, and you are entered. It's pretty remarkable that we're actually this far. I'm still kind of in disbelief. I figured we would be at 1,000 subs, but you all helped us out getting past 6,000 subs, which is a feat in itself, and we are eternally grateful because this is a lot of fun. We love talking to you guys, and honestly, that is one of my favorite parts. We look forward to doing more videos and conversating with all you, and probably running into a couple of shows here and there. But yeah, thank you all from the bottom of our hearts on that one. So with that, there is a cricket in my basement that keeps chirping, so I'm going to have a talk with it about all the chirping. I thank you all for watching, and we will catch you later.